Hello and welcome to Trojan Talk. I'm your host, Aaron Taylor. With me today is Maxwell George, SGA President here at Troy University. Thanks for joining me here today, Maxwell.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me.
And start of a new semester, so obviously plans for your first school year as SGA President here. Talk a little bit about this semester and what your plans are for this first semester in the Maxwell George era of the Student Government Association.
Yes, sir. So first of all, we just got off a great welcoming week, and today we actually have our first actual meeting. So we're looking to kind of settle in and get some legislative things out the way from the beginning when it comes to kind of leaving our stamp and our footprint on SGA forever. That's kind of the first things we want to address and be able to impact SGA moving forward after maybe the Maxwell George is over, or era is over, is that we still have effects leaving on that will make a great change at Troy University. We still have plans of doing the diversity, equity, inclusion certificate and conference and things like that. And then as soon as a couple of weeks go by, our focus turns to homecoming week, and then also, or before that, it's the South week. So we got a lot of good things planned, and we can't forget about Military Appreciation Week. We have some good things that we're planning on for that, getting a lot of students involved, veterans involved for military appreciation, and then South Hate Week, one of my favorite weeks.
Yes.
It's almost like another homecoming before a homecoming.
Yes, most
which
definitely.
Homecoming's like 2 weeks after that,
Yes.
and then Miles and me and everybody we're doing or making sure that involving all the students and things like that it's a big thing, and making sure I have the best impact possible.
Well, and what's one of the things, and we've talked before about the desire to make this semester real for the students, especially even the freshmen from last year who did not get that true college experience of bringing that back.
Indeed.
Even though the threat of COVID still kind of looms a little bit, but still trying to bring that real college experience to the students.
I think like when I first came, the first Trojan Talk I had, it's reliving and rejuvenating and re-giving that experience back to what we had to them as well. And I think it starts with the first football game. We have a lot of good things planned when it comes to the Trojan run and things like that for the freshmen, and also including the sophomore class, because we want all the people that have come to Troy University to have that same experience moving forward. So that's hopefully something we can give to them to be able to carry on. It's like, hey, they looked after us when we weren't given the same opportunity, and it might be in a different way, different shape, but they looked after us and try to replicate that same experience. And then homecoming, things like that. I know when it comes to fraternity and sororities, they weren't able to relive those same opportunities and experiences they had years before. We're going to try to do everything we can to give them the years before experiences, and then our experience that Miles is crafting away, because you know how he is with those things like that.
It's got know Miles. He's one creative individual there.
So I know that after he kind of gets a little breather from this week, we'll all kind of come together and we'll be able to press towards that.
And of course, you mentioned the diversity and inclusion plan, and we talked about that before. A big deal, and you're looking to make things a little bit better on that side of the university, to make things a little bit more inclusive.
For sure. I think the first thing that we're probably rolling out come this week and kind of putting things on the docket is one of the plans is to add a diversity, equity, and inclusion executive position. I had an opportunity to be in front of a lot of SGA execs across the country this summer, and kind of looked around, and everybody had one, and we did not. And I think that's something that's monumental. It's a good footprint that we can have, that regardless of after I'm in presidency or the people that are in the current executive staff are here, that's something that will last forever once it's passed. And hopefully it won't ever get repealed or get taken away. So as long as SGA exists, they'll have a focus and interest in improving diversity, equity, and inclusion at Troy University. Along with that, a bill that we're kind of working on passing right now, or proposing, because our first meetings today, is an additional 2 international seats to be able to yes, numbers are low right now, but they're going to come back, and we want to make sure that they feel fully represented and loved, and shown that, hey, we have students that are here for you, and you're being represented when the decisions are being made here at Troy University. So moving forward towards that, that's going to lay kind of the footwork and groundwork of the conference and the certificate and things like that. We have this interest, and hopefully the conference will move into the diversity, equity, and inclusion executive position. That will be their role. And so moving forward, that this will be something that will continue from year to year to year.
Lay a foundation that hopefully will
sure
keep going. And of course, one last thing before we go, one of the big things that you've been involved with is this incentive program for COVID vaccinations.
Yes.
It was just recently announced. Talking about why this was so important for SGA to get involved.
I think it's super important because, one, we want to stay here. We want to be in Troy. We want to have fun in 21. That's our thing this year. We want to have fun in 21. And personally, I want to be able to stay here, and I want to be able to fulfill those things that we all promised you. And my very first meeting with the ECHO staff is like, we want to help each other succeed with each other's goals. Miles, I want you to be able to have a fantastic welcoming week, homecoming, things like that. KJ, you're part of UAC as well. I want you to be able to have fantastic events and things like that. To be able to have each other succeed in our goals, we have to do something as a university, university-wide, to be able to succeed towards those things. And I think incentivizing vaccines and getting students vaccinated, keeping us all safe, is one of those things that will kind of push us forward into that. And I think it's a really good opportunity. There's a lot of money being given out for students and things like that.
A lot of scholarships, the $1,000 scholarships, the food scholarships there, all of that there involved to get students there vaccinated, so we continue to have fun in 21.
Yes,
all right, well, Maxwell, good luck on those plans, and can't wait to hear, especially the diversity inclusion stuff, laying that foundation.
For sure.
Thanks for joining us, and looking forward to having you back in, talk a little about more about what's going on at SGA. Thanks for joining us. And thank you for joining us on today's edition of Trojan Talk.